Hi there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the backyard and we're going to get our dahlias planted that we planted from seed. So I'm really excited about this project. I've never grown dahlias from seed before, so to see how well they did coming up, they're all thriving and looking beautiful, and there's even one that I saw has a little tiny tuber in their little tiny cell pack, and it's definitely time to move everybody out into the garden. These are seeds that I bought from Floret. She's an amazing flower farmer in Washington. If you don't know about her, please check her out. Amazing person, beautiful gardens, top-notch breeding. So what do I need to do? They're all going to get planted in this raised bed, and I need to take out the ranunculus. I need to move my snapdragons, which are just in this flat right here, and this little flat of pansies. I just need to move those out of the way. But I'm going to pull up the ranunculus. I'm going to just get rid of them, and then I'm going to measure out my lines. I want to also plant a border of alyssum along with all the dahlias today. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show you what we're working with, and then we'll start the project. Okay, so we are in front of the greenhouse in this raised bed, and I switch out this raised bed every year with something new. Last year I did all dried cut flowers, so cut all flowers that could be cut and dried and saved. It was a fun experiment. It was very like fluffy and like inorganic, shall we say. But this year, and so I took everything out of there, and this year I planted over 200 ranunculus, and I got about half a dozen. So, and they're all the same, almost all the same ones with the exception of that one. So they all look like this, which is very pretty. They're all this like burgundy purple color with the exception of this like red orange one. This one didn't bloom. These are weeds. So yeah, not super exciting. I thought this whole bed was going to be full of, and I did a whole big mix of colors, and I knew some of them were old, but I wasn't expecting to have this much failure. That's okay. I will try ranunculus again, maybe not on such a grand scale, and certainly with brand new corums. So there's that. These are one little ranunculus here. What I'm going to do actually with these ranunculus that are still here, I will cut them and I'll put them in vases so that I can enjoy them for a little while. These are all snapdragons that I need to put out into the garden, just not today. And then I've got these pots of alyssum over here and a little bit right here that I'm going to use for a border around this whole bed. And then I've got all of these dahlias, this flat of dahlias that we're going to put out into the raised bed today. So I think what I'm going to do is get this bed cleared and prepped and then plant. So let's do that first. All right, now I've got this bed prepped. It's weeded. We've got alyssum around the edges. Every 6 inches, I put a clump of alyssum and the purple alyssum, and then I made 3 rows, and that's where we will end up putting drip right along the rows. Kind of organic. I didn't measure perfectly. I don't really care that much. Once the plants are filled in, you won't really see the rows much. So now my next step is just to grab those dahlias, and I'm gonna put them out and kind of separate them just so that they do have some airflow, and then we'll get to planting them. I'm gonna throw some biotone down before I start. I usually use plant tone everywhere, but I bought a bag of biotone, and I follow another gardener who does really well with dahlias, and she swears by putting biotone in the holes with the dahlias to begin with. So I'm gonna try that this year in this bed. But I think the rest of the project's gonna be quick and easy. I grab my dahlias right there. I'm just gonna scoot them over and start divvying them up. This one has a little tuber on it already. Isn't that so fun? I mean, I can't even believe it. I just feel like the ones with tubers I want to maybe place differently. This one has one too. Okay. So, one. There's one more. This one has a little bit of a tuber. This one. Look at the root system on this guy. It's intense. And this one has a little bit of a tuber, okay? Okay, so like this one, it's holding together pretty well. It's got a tuber growing in there. I'm not gonna loosen its root balls because it's not really root bound, but I am gonna bury the stem up into this little leaf bit, just to give it a little bit of strength. Okay. And then in this back row, all of these have obvious tubers already growing from just inside these little 2-inch squares. So I thought if I put them all in one row, I could kind of keep an eye. Are they the strong ones this year, or does it matter? That needs to come down even further. How exciting! 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, those are the big pots, and I think these. Okay, I am going to be adding these guys into my large pots in the front when I plant those up in a couple of days. I'm going to add these to a raised bed right behind the camera, just to put them somewhere, and they're in the littlest cells still, so I just want to get them out into the ground. So we'll do that, water these in, and this project will be done. Look at these tubers. How fun and exciting is this? I planted these in March, I think. I'll look at the tag. Isn't that so fun? So in just like 2-3 months. So cool. now that bed is done for the season, other than putting in some irrigation, but that should be pretty easy. We're just gonna put a main line on one end and then run 4 lines or 3 lines of drip along, yeah, just like, you know, this way. And I think that'll be just fine. We'll run them between the dahlias and alyssum on this side, one down the middle, and one between the dahlias and the alyssum on that side, and that'll be perfect. And then, so I got 17 dahlias in here, 6, 5, and 6. And I don't know how many alyssum. I just took that 1 gallon pot, divided it, and got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, like 22, 24 alyssum plants. They were actually, gosh, I don't know, maybe 30 plants in each of those 1 gallons. They were all little tiny cells of plants that were just, they've been blooming for months in the greenhouse in their little tiny cells, just like the ones that are in there now. And I knew I needed to like at least give them some room to grow, so that's what I did. And I just put a bunch in 1 gallon pots, and then today I just divided them, so I know they'll get even bigger now, so that's really fun. And you know, this is the way to go. Already not seeds, not tiny seedlings, but like small plants, and it has an instant impact, and I know they're gonna be good. I'm really excited about it. And then over here in front of the cannas, I've had dahlias in these containers before. Love the look of the cannas and the dahlias together. Very tropical, very fun. So I have 2 of the Floret's shooting star dahlias in the front and 2 in the front there. Oh, I'm just so excited about this. Also, I know things look a little messy on the edges. It looks like that in the spring because we've got the columbine and then we've got Shastas coming up. But I do need to get over there and weed out grass and maybe a little bit of buttercup. Ugh, always the weeding. But this is done. And that's the important part, and that's what I got to today. Oh, and I made a little bouquet. Just like grabbed a little vase bud and put this ranunculus in this vase bud. This bud vase. Whatever, same difference. Really cute, super classic. And now I can enjoy them. Man, do I like them better in that vase than I did in that bed, for sure. Well, that was a lesson learned on the ranunculus. Definitely buy from a reputable breeder. And when you haven't tried something before, do it on a small scale, somewhere that isn't in the forefront of your garden, because I had intended those ranunculus to carry me from like end of February, early March, all the way to the end of May. And yeah, it was lacking by far. It's fine because now it looks absolutely beautiful. And I mean, with the plants there, it's pretty much a guarantee we're going to have just a gorgeous show of color, even if they're not colors that I love. And that's the deal with growing dahlias from seed, is you have no idea what we're going to get. These are the shooting star seeds. So the mother plant had a specific kind of formation. And so I can expect that form and like growth habit pretty much. There may be some slight variations, but certainly the colors are just a complete wild card. So that's kind of exciting. It's kind of fun. Definitely fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how things do. And I like that some of them are already growing tubers. It's just amazing to me. I can't wait to see what they look like at the end of the year, or at the end of the growing season. I'm sure that's going to just be like such a huge wow factor. And it'll be interesting to see if the ones that already have tubers today this quickly, oh, that, I think I'm in the way of the bird feeder right there. Birds are kind of like, I feel like Snow White. They're kind of flitting all around me. They're not mad yet. Anyway, so I put one row of dahlias that just had tubers, or that already had tubers, all together in one row to see if there's a difference in between those and the ones that don't have tubers yet. It'll just be an interesting thing to observe. All right, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you're celebrating your life, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.